Hi, you guys. Okay, Snowfall, Season 4, Episode 4. The episode starts off with Wanda trying to sell her raggedy tooth with silver in the middle. Leon pulls up because he's about to go to the store and get him something to eat, and he passes Wanda a couple of dollars. Keep the tooth, Wanda. He goes on about his business to order his food. And Scully is out there, his man spot Leon. So they like, yeah, that is that nigga. So as they're making a U-turn to come back around and hit up Leon and his crew, Wanda spots this and she yells for Leon's name, Lee! And this gave Leon and his mans and them to get prepared. Next thing we know is gunshot bullets everywhere. Leon and his crew is fine, but they walk over and poor Wanda is laying on the ground, shot up. Okay, Franklin is now fucking Tinashe, which I'm not surprised, but like I told y'all, I got my eye on her. And he gets a page from Leon to tell him meet him down at the hospital. Now, he goes on down to the hospital and Leon and his crew is there. I'm glad that Leon decided to stay with Wanda. She actually saved his life. And not only that, Leon still does love Wanda. It's just that she got strung out on that shit. We know that Franklin and Leon aren't on the best terms right now. And it's kind of awkward. And Franklin asks, how was Wanda doing? And Leon was like, she in surgery. Then again, I ain't no surgeon, so I don't know. Franklin gonna tell Leon, I told you to lay low, man. And Leon said, nigga gotta eat, right? This way it gets frustrating for me with Franklin, how he treats Leon. Leon really didn't. He really been chilling, not bothering no one. And Franklin, you know why Scully is coming after Leon. It's really because of you. Leon was the one telling your ass to stay out of it. Leon is not really here for Franklin and his bullshit. So maybe Leon isn't the one that paged Franklin. Franklin tried to come at Leon like, now both of us, he coming for both of us, so we might as well link up together and take him out together. Leon asks, yeah, because your plan worked out so well last time, right? You know you the real reason why he came after us today, right? Franklin said, I know, I'm just telling you, I've been to the bottom before, and you can't just walk up in there. Franklin may be thinking that Leon is going to do some shit like that, because that's up Leon lane, that he would go right over there and handle his business, and maybe he's trying to forewarn him. Leon isn't trying to hear that shit. He's like, is there anything else you want to tell me, Saint? Franklin said, nah, you be good though. Leon tells Fatback that he wants to hire a professional that can seek out where Scully be at, and so he can run up on Scully and hit him. Essentially, Leon seeks out the help of private investigator Reggie, who works with his mother. Child, Leon and Fatback up in here with hardly any information. All they know is they looking for a nigga named Scully. I guess Reggie mama had done heard enough. She is like, I am out of here. These fools in here talking about they looking for a nigga named Scully. Mama wants no parts of this. Private Detective Reggie then said, well, look, y'all don't know his real name. You don't have a picture. Do you at least know where he stay? Leon tells him the bottoms. Private Detective Reggie was looking at him like, really? So he was about to go off, and Leon just slapped a little small stack on his table like, look, can you take care of it or not? Because I could take this money somewhere else. The private detective said, look, I got you. Okay, over to Franklin and Sissy, and they're meeting up with Paul Davis at a country club. And it seems like it's an all-black country club. And did you notice how Franklin was looking around, observing the scene, seeing how everyone was black and professional and wealthy? This is exactly what Franklin wanted. Success. His mom is happy. He's sitting at the table making boss moves. I also was paying attention to how Franklin was looking at the waiter that was waiting on their table, and how he was saying he was a college student and he was about to graduate. And Paul Davis said that he was going to be at his graduation, and he gave him a wad of cash. Franklin could have very much so been that young man. He went to a privileged school in the Valley, very smart. His mother wanted him to go to college, and he was kind of thinking about college. Maybe Franklin was thinking, damn, if I would have stayed on a straight and narrow, who knows, I could have been placed in certain circles where I still come in contact with people like Paul Davis. Anyhow, Paul Davis wanted to know, if he does choose to do business with them, how can they convince him that if there was to be any trouble, that it would not fall back on him and he take a loss. Sissy Aston told this man everything. She tells him how they launder their money, and the actual money winds up in Aruba or sometimes in Europe. Sissy, did you have to be that damn detailed? Or maybe she did make this up. What you think? Teddy and Gustavo goes to see Ivy, and Teddy is trying to track down his guns. Ivy on his bullshit, he trying to get them to drink some champagne. And he did tell them that they look like shit. Because they do. Teddy looks pale. He needs to go get that bruise checked out. He just may have some internal bleeding. Ivy tells Teddy that the guns are still held up in customs at Beirut because it's a misunderstanding about $15 million. One person is saying that the check got cleared. Another person saying that that's false. Now, I don't think Ivy is to be trusted. We already know what he tried to do to Franklin. One of the past seasons when Franklin got him to take him across seas to set up an offshore account, and he was trying to rob Franklin. Well, not actually rob him, but scam him. It's all the same, robbery. And remember, at the time, Ivy told Franklin that he's in some money trouble. Ivy knows what's going on with that $15 million up in Beirut. Back at home, Teddy gets a visit from his superior. He wants to know what happened in Tijuana. He tells Teddy at this point that DFS is inconsolable and the DEA is hot mad and that they will be doing an internal investigation. I've been saying this for quite some time now. Teddy is not going to get away with doing all the stuff that he's doing. I just don't think so. Teddy up here promising protection to Gustavo and to this person and Franklin. I would not trust him. Teddy gonna need some help himself. The government is not gonna take a fall for all this shenanigans. Hell no. Reese tells him, well, fix it. I'm the one out here making $8 million a month. I don't think y'all can replace y'all. I don't think you can find another. So I need you to fix this. His boss is looking at him like, you look a mess, Teddy. He asks Teddy, how long you been on this assignment? Look, everyone needs a breather. Teddy said, no, but what I need you to do, I need you to check this name, Ivy. I forgot his last name, but he want him to check Ivy financial records to see if any large amount of money has been deposited in any accounts in his name. I don't think Ivy would be that sloppy for someone to find out because he know Teddy is CIA, but I do believe that Ivy knows what's up with that $15 million. $15 million? You don't make those kind of mistakes. Hell no. We have found the children. It's not clear how they got to their aunt's house, but they're staying with their aunt, their mother's sister. Gustavo passes her a bankroll of money, and sis said, fuck that. I do not want to take care of my sister's kids. I did not ask for this. Gustavo is just standing looking at her. And I think what he's saying is, bitch, with all the shit I'm going through, you better take this damn money and take care of them kids. He leaves the money with her and he walks out the door. Do y'all think she gonna take care of them kids or she gonna take that bankroll and do her? Ultimately, Paul Davis decides to do business with Franklin and Sissy. Franklin seems to be very confident in the deal. He tells Sissy, like he said, it's a start. And Sissy seems to be not that impressed, I would say. Franklin noticed her grim mood and he said, why you're not happy, Mama? Isn't this what you wanted? We provide affordable housing. We're providing loans for our own people. We're bringing ownership back to Black homes and business. And not to mention, I'm single-handedly putting a stop to decades of systemic racism. Come on, Mama, why is nothing ever good enough? Sissy tells Franklin, look, I didn't meet up with Paul Davis for myself. I met up with him to get you legit. You promised me that we would get out of this clean. But how long is it going to take before you can truly walk away from this lifestyle and be 100% legitimate? If you want to see me happy, yes, I'm going to need an exact date. Give me something that I can actually say, okay, we're going to make it out of this intact. I completely understand where Sissy is coming from. It's no point of enjoying all these things, all these, you have millions of dollars, you have real estate, you have cars and all the things you need. Like Franklin said, he basically beat the odds, beat what the system had set up for him to fail. He beat that at this moment. But when does it all end? It's no point of enjoying all these things if it's going to be abruptly taken away from us. That has been Sissy's only position in the family role. She has been focused on getting him clean, making sure that he make relationships with the proper people in the best positions. Sissy even had to let Alton know later on that day. Alton was telling Sissy that Paul Davis is a snake. And what are you going to do when that snake come to bite you? And Sissy said, I'll bite the goddamn head off the snake and move on to the next one. If it means that I'll stay out of the police car and my son won't be taking them one in handcuffs. The conversation between Sissy and Franklin leads him to meet up with Teddy. Franklin has his suit on and he's at a nice restaurant. Franklin over here expanding his palate, honey. Teddy asks Franklin, so what is this "it's not you, it's me" conversations coming about? Franklin said, well, a man in my position, our time is limited. I do want to have an exit plan. Teddy tells Franklin, look, I can give you a date, but it'll be a complete lie. It's hard to tell in guerrilla warfare. Teddy tells Franklin if he does come across a date that the war will be ending soon, that Franklin will be the first to find out. Now, what I was thinking is Franklin in his head is like, shit, what the fuck am I going to do? How long am I going to be in this shit? Well, Franklin shocked the hell out of me because he said he wants to double his footprint. Franklin goes on down to Louis Bar and take this idea with him. And the topic of conversation is expansion. Louis says she know a girl down in Little Rock. Her and her man sure would appreciate that opportunity. Jerome over there huffing and puffing. And he said, hell no. What you need to do is tell that white boy that you're going to decrease until we figure this shit out about Man Boy and Scully. We don't need to be doing no expansion right now. More money, more problems. We haven't even fixed the one that we have right now. Franklin said, nah, that's what we're not going to do. This war right here is the very reason we need to expand. If Little Rock is a go, I need you to go up there, take the recipe, use the same formula that we did down here, cook up some rocks, put out some for testers, and let us build our clientele. Everything will be fine. Take Peaches with you. I don't know about this Franklin. Franklin is on a high right now. He's feeling himself, which he should, because he's been working hard to get up to this point. But he cannot see the danger that he's facing. He want to go to a state that he's not familiar with those people and how they roll, how them crews are. And he's going to find himself in the same situation, just in another state. And poor Jerome, all he want to do is get back to his speaker store. Remember, he is the one that was selling dimes and nickels of weed. He never in his wildest dreams did he think that he would ever be living like this and moving this way. Jerome was fine being a nickel and dime weed boy, and now he's taking orders from his nephew, who he put on. And we see that Tinashe done got her position at the bar, honey. It's something up with this bitch. Louis said, well, I thought by you fucking her that we can trust her. And maybe she can run the bar while I make the trip. I don't know. I feel like they setting us up for her to do something to Franklin. Later that evening, Lerp dropped Franklin off home. He tells Franklin, this is where my ride ends. Vietnam was one thing, fighting for our country, but fighting my own people in the streets is another thing. I was thinking of the money, like I can do this, but no, I can't. Remember, we seen Lerp up in that room with Jerome when Jerome was huffing and puffing. He was giving them eyes like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? And I do not blame him, because even the way they coordinated that bus was a hot mess, and nothing about it said read military trained. I would think from Lerp being military trained that he would have executed a better plan than that one. So not only is it morally wrong, but Lerp should be worried about his safety as well. Lerp said, y'all got him fucked up. He did not make it through a war to come home and be killed in a street war. Absolutely not. Franklin tells him, look, I understand what you're saying. This is not what I want either. But what you will not do today or tomorrow you will not abandon me. You have to see me through this. After this is over, you're free to do whatever you need to do, but you will not abandon me. Lerp said, okay, I'm going to be down for you. But I don't know. Y'all think he going to show up? I think he will, just because he gave Franklin his word. And he seems like he's a man of his word to me. I don't know. We'll see. Irene and her assistant spent the entire workday and overtime trying to reach Tony Marino. The sun is now down and still no luck. So Irene takes a break and she went inside a co-worker's office. Another woman who seems to be like a workaholic. She had a bottle of liquor and Irene pours her one up. Irene is telling her how frustrated she is. She's trying to find Tony Marino and she's coming to all these dead ends and everything is just not making any sense. She tells Irene to hang in there. Once it took me weeks to get information from an undercover. She says she did get the story out, but it was weeks after the post ran it. She tells Irene don't get discouraged and she should take the angle with Alton. He's an ex-Panther with a drug dealing son. That has to be a guilt shelter. Over at this shelter, Alton is dealing with a resident whose wife left him. He can't find him. He's left with the kids. And I guess the struggle just got too much for him. So he's out chasing drugs and his children, his baby needs some damn diapers and his son was getting on him like he the father. So Alton is trying to defuse this situation. And here comes Irene. Alton asks Irene, what can Edgewood Shelters do for you today? Irene said, I was thinking about writing a piece about you and your wife and what y'all do for the community. Alton said, hold up, I never told you I had a wife. Irene goes on to say, I did some research on you. Alton cut that ass off. He said, you know how I report his line? Because her lips is moving. Now leave and do not come back. You will not get any information from me. Child, Irene didn't have any words. Later that night, Irene is coming home from work. And who the fuck is in her apartment? Tony Marino. And this joker was going through her stuff, reading up on her work about Franklin, and he tells her, Franklin Saint is not the problem. You're looking up the wrong tree. What you need to find out is who is protecting Franklin and why? Who would have that type of pull? And Irene said, Ronald Reagan. Tony said, close. And he passes Irene a pile of information and folders. And Irene discovers it's the CIA. Irene asks, because she's fascinated, she's like, is this for real? And Tony tells her, yes. Now, it's not as simple as just printing some stuff out on a paper. You're going to have to prove this. He tells Irene that he did some looking into her to make sure that she is capable of carrying this story through. He tells Irene, I'll stay for an hour and I'll walk you through everything. But the deal is we never met. Now, this seems like it's going down the road of my theory when I said maybe Irene is going to expose the CIA. I don't know. Irene going down this rabbit hole deeper and deeper. It's just our days on the earth is looking short. Okay, back at the hospital, Wanda is going off because she's talking about she don't know what's in that needle that nurse is giving her. Just a few hours ago, she was pumping poison in her body. Anyway, Leon comes in and tell her, chill. Look, I done paid for you to stay here. That stuff in that syringe is going to make you feel better. Get that junk out of your system. Tells Wanda, you can fuck this shit up and get thrown out if you want, but you better not ever speak to me again. Wanda asks Leon to stay with her for the night. And first he said no, then she begged him again, and he said okay. I love Leon. He is loyal. When Leon found out that they may be kicking Wanda out, he went up to the nurse. He like, look, my friend Wanda, her body is smoked with bullet holes. She can't go home yet. Where do I pay? Do I give the money to you? Here. Leon didn't know the ethic and how you do things at the hospital. He didn't know that you go and see Billing and take care with them. The nurse got so offended. You would think that maybe he would learn something, how to move on a business level from Franklin, because him and Franklin is so close. Well, we're so close. But Leon is just that hood ass nigga. That's not to say that he'll never change. The next day, Leon goes to see what the private investigator discovered. I have to say, the private investigator, he did his job. At one point, we thought he got caught, but they was just trying to holler at a girl with a big booty. I have to say, at that moment, I thought the private investigator would be a little more discreet. He looks like a square, and he was sitting in his car not eating any food or anything. I thought he would maybe eat some food to throw someone off just in case someone was looking. Anyway, I can't be too hard on him. He did get 3 locations that Scully frequent to. One spot was to his grandmother's house, and he said he goes in with a bag, but he leaves out empty-handed. And Leon and Fatback is talking, and they like, this is probably where he keep his money at. Fatback said, yeah, it's smart. It's outside of the turf. Won't nobody fuck with it. The private eye said, whoa, y'all talking too much. If y'all gonna have to take this outside unless there's anything that else I can do for you. That's what I mean about Leon, that street shit, no attic. He is doing way too much. First of all, he involved this private detective that can turn on him if anything happens, and that he's exposed to it, that the private detective is exposed. He would have no other choice but to expose Leon. Also, I don't know about this private eye. He got that bit of information about the money, maybe a stash house. He been watching that house, watching who come and go, when Scully come and go. He might be sending his people over there to rob that house. Leon takes this information and he stakes out Scully's grandmother's home. He's with Little Man, Fatback, and another guy. Little Man is driving, Fatback got shotgun, and Leon is in the back seat with another guy. Not much is going on at the moment, but a man selling snow cones crossing the street. And here comes a car pulling up. And it's Scully Peoples, Cornrows, I think that's his name. And him and Leon locked eyes, and it just goes down. Gunshot bullets everywhere. The snow cone man is on the ground dead. Little Man is shot up dead. And the passenger that was in the back seat with Leon died. Leon and Fatback jumps out the car and they just finish it off, and they're just going in. And then you hear a woman scream, and this makes Leon freeze up like, oh. And the woman in the backseat is Khadijah, Scully's baby mother. She had Scully's daughter with them, and baby girl is dead. Now, my first question is why Leon or Fatback wasn't sitting in the driver's seat watching who comes up the street, the rearview mirror or the side mirrors. If Little Man would have been on point, he could have alerted them like, some niggas pulling up, this may be them. However, that does not change the fact that they started shooting with a child in a car. It wasn't like Leon shot first. They knew that baby was in a car. Why would they stop and start shooting? Leon had every right to defend himself. He didn't know that baby was in the car at the moment. I will say Leon could have planned this way better, because you just never know. He came to Scully territory. No telling who could have pulled up at Scully's grandmother house. Leon thinking that he was going to catch Scully by himself going up in his grandmother house. No, you don't know who Scully going to bring through or tell go over there and do this, do little things. You don't know. And they were time enough for Leon this time. So he got to give Franklin a little break, because he didn't plan this no better. At this point, both Leon and Franklin need to stop this bullshit. They brothers. They need to come back together and take out Scully, because Scully is going to go demon time. This is fucked up that this happened to Leon, but I'm not throwing him away, because he did not know. And no telling if his gun the one that killed that little girl. He's going to be fucked up, because he's not that type of person that would kill a child or do something to a female. So this will weigh on his mental. This is just not another nigga from the streets that he had to put some holes in their body. This was an innocent child. I have empathy for Leon, because he didn't know. And I just hope he get it together. But that's where the story ends, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.